In normal times, I know you'd be looking for ways to increase your sales. But today, with all the COVID-19 business restrictions, you're scouring the internet for everything you can find. You might be one of the few restaurants whose sales have actually increased, or you might be a typical restaurant who's seen a 25 to 75% drop in sales, and every time you feel like things are getting back to normal, your state has re-implemented tight business restrictions to keep people safe. Add to the drop in sales, food prices have skyrocketed, labor costs is out of control, and your rent feels like cement shoes when you're trying to tread water in the middle of the ocean with no life preserver. So how do you cut costs at the same time? Hey, if you like topics like these, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, and oh yeah, click on that little bell so you're notified when my next video comes out. And oh, by the way, if you like more tips like this, check out my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, found on all the popular podcasting services. Look, I know you're tired of hearing the phrase, pivot your business. That was so 8 months ago. Well, you added to-go, third-party apps, outdoor dining, you raised prices, you added prepared foods for people to walk in, grab, take home, and make basically at their house. You reduced your menu items, you replaced ingredients to find savings, you started going to Costco and Sam's Club just to save a penny. You laid off team members, which crushed your heart. The truth is, what you really need to focus on are the basics, making Restaurant 101 your priority. Now look, Restaurant 101 has kind of changed. Yes, we know it's hot food hot, cold food cold, clean, safe worker environment for the guests, employees, wow customer service, incredible product. It's basically great hospitality. But now, because of third-party delivery apps, because people are picking up items and taking them home, we've got now, hey, how do I get this product from my restaurant to their home and still be something I can be proud of that the guest goes, wow, that's an incredible product. And then we have all these restrictions to make sure that we keep people safe with gloves and sanitation restrictions and making sure we're visual and putting partitions between tables. We're doing everything possible to make sure the guest has not only the best experience, but they feel safe. So Restaurant 101 has truly changed. It's evolved. But the basic or major part of Restaurant 101 is still great hospitality. That hasn't changed. There's a book I want you to read. Author John R. DeJulius III writes in his book, Secret Service, Hidden Systems that Deliver Unforgettable Customer Service. He says, when you deliver wow customer service, you make price irrelevant. See, I don't want to compete on price. I don't want to sit there and say, well, the restaurant next to me sells a burger for $10 and I sell one for $12. I need to reduce my price to compete. Instead, John says you go out there and you train great hospitality. You make sure that you are anticipating your guests' needs and meeting them for them, that you're taking the extra steps to make them feel special. Because the idea is this, when I go through your restaurant, it's not about jazz hands, it's about not breaking the connection if you and I were dining together. We make sure that all our needs are met for us at any point in time in our conversation. I don't have to go, wait, hold on, I need something to drink. Right? It's those little things, the little things that we know more about our guests. When you start to know their names, when you know what their favorite bottle of wine is, when you can start to say, hey, how are your children? Now, it may start with bonding at the table instead of saying a corporate restaurant, hi, my name is, hey, that's a great hat. Where did you find that? Oh, that's one of my favorite teams too. Starting a bond with the guest, not just, hi, what can I get you, being a walking vending machine. These are all things that can be trained. Now, also, what if I told you what you've been taught about staffing for great hospitality? You might be all wrong. Think about it. Think about what your restaurant looks like when you have more employees than you have customers. What are your employees doing? What are these team members doing? They're playing grab ass at the time clock, right? They're back in server alley and they're talking about their conquests. They're snapping towels. They're screwing around. And that's when you have the worst Yelp reviews you could possibly ever have because the guest is being ignored. Now, if you were able to trim your labor to a point where, yeah, you still have, say, your 7 servers on a Friday night, but we're not bringing them all at 7 o'clock to play grab ass at the time clock, right? They're not all just kind of lounging around and walking slowly and setting their tables, talking with each other, having a nice time, a nice leisurely stroll through your restaurant. Instead, we bring in 2 servers at 4 o'clock and 2 at 5 o'clock and the rest at 6 o'clock because that's when our rush starts. And we still have our 7 servers during the rush, but we're not bleeding at the time clock because we're running out of places to cut labor. So all I'm trying to do is say, hey, you need to use your labor more efficiently. So here's the deal. If you want to increase your sales and decrease your costs at the same time, you need to focus on training, managing, and executing great hospitality. This is still the #1 way to separate yourself from the competition and ensure your restaurant will be around for decades to come. Looking for direction on which area your restaurant has the most opportunity for improvement? Complete my custom restaurant evaluation. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete, and when you hit the submit button, you'll get an evaluation customized to the needs of your restaurant. It's free and a great tool to use to develop a plan for your restaurant's success. Click on the link in the description below this video. Also, be sure to subscribe to my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to get more information and guidance on running a successful restaurant.